V.2, find the radius or diameter of a circle. Now, by now, if you're a junior in high school, you should know what the radius of a circle is, or the diameter of a circle, but let's just pretend that you don't. So the radius, you start at the center and you go to the edge of the circle, and however long that is, that's the radius. So if we're going from 0 to 9, then the radius is 9. Now it's not just this is the radius. Any of these, if you're going from the center out to the edge, all of these are radii and all of them are 9. That's just, a little extra for you. Now the diameter, if you know what the radius is from the center to the edge, and we're going from 4 to 8, so that's going to be 4, the diameter is through the center of the circle from edge to edge. So if the radius is 4 and the radius is 4, then the diameter is going to be twice as much as 4, so it's going to be 8. And then let me write down what we learned in V1. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So this number, because we're looking for the radius, r squared equals 100. And if I'm looking for radius, then I'm looking for r. And if I'm looking for r, I want r by itself. And r is not by itself right now. R is being squared. So we are going to square root it, and we're going to square root it. So our radius is the square root of 100, or it is 10. So r squared equals 49. So I square root and I square root. So the square root of 49 is 7. So the radius is 7, but that's not the question. Make sure you read the question. So if the radius is 7, then the diameter is 14. We're looking for the radius. So r squared equals 1. The square root of r squared equals the square root of 1. So r equals 1. We're looking for radius. We have radius. So our radius is 1. R squared equals 49 over 4. So the square root and the square root. So r equals 7 over 2. I'm looking for the diameter. So if you have a calculator, you can do 7 over 2 plus 7 over 2. If you have a calculator, you can do 7 over 2 times 2, because that's, if you're adding the same thing, then you're multiplying by 2. So if we do 7 over 2 plus 7 over 2, we have 14 over 2, and 14 over 2 is 7. So 7 is the diameter. So we're looking for radius. R squared equals 101. So if you take the square root and you take the square root, then r equals the square root of 101. Because 101 does not break down, it does not simplify, it does not reduce or anything like that. So we're looking for the radius. We have the radius, so the radius is the square root of 101. And then we have r squared equals 32. So the square root of r squared equals the square root of 32. So r equals, just a second, I'm doing it in my head, 16, 4 squared of 2. If you have a calculator and put the square root of 32 in my calculator, you would get 4 squared of 2. We're looking for radius. We found the radius. So the radius is 4 squared of 2. And now we're looking for diameter, but we have to find the radius first. So r squared equals 39. So r equals the square root of 39. And I'm looking for diameter, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. 2 times the square root of 39 is 2 square root of 39.